Hello, true duelists. It's me, the guy they named the Pokemon Coughing after, because I keep doing that between takes. And welcome to the new card report. Did you know that Light and Darkness Dragon was originally a card used by Chazz in the manga? If you didn't, don't worry. That's the main thing people have been screaming from the rooftops lately in regards to these new cards from the Infinite Forbidden, giving us the true manga versions of the iconic cards, roughly as they appeared, maybe. I don't know, I haven't read the manga, I don't care. And you know that it's exciting and good because the main thing people are talking about is that these are the ones from the manga and not how good they are. So let's go ahead and take a look at the nostalgia and see why that is. Light and Darkness Dragon Lord is a new level 10 light fusion dragon with 3,400 attack and 300 defense that needs both one level 8 light dragon and one level 8 dark dragon as fusion material. It must be fusion summoned, and while it's on the field, it is always treated as being a dark monster as well. Once per chain, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, this card will lose 1,000 attack and defense and negate the activation. And if it's destroyed by the opponent, this card can target any dragon monster in your graveyard and special it back to your field. So, that's like just Light and Darkness Dragon, right? Like not quite, but really. Just slightly worse, I guess, because it's the same old negate of the first thing that happens, whether you activate a card or effect of the opponent, and it's both light and dark. But this one only has 3 negates, since it's losing 1,000 at a time and only has 3,000 defense, and it needs to lose both. So that's cool. And when it dies, it won't blow up your field, but you only can summon back a dragon. That's probably irrelevant for the most part and the majority of decks that are playing this, but it would be nice to have more options after making such a finicky fusion, let's say, with those very specific materials. I don't really consider this to be exceptionally more difficult or easy to summon than the original, truth be told, with those very specific materials compared to needing to normal summon it with 2 tributes, but what do I know? Imagine if you could choose what you negate instead. No, unfortunately, we need to make sure it really ties back to 2007 in that regard, don't we? I don't really have a ton to say here because I'm clearly audibly having a stroke, and the only thing I can really tell you about it is that it leaves much to be desired, but it looks sick as hell. Okay, so onto the onto the white one. The white one! Probably can't introduce the other one that way, can I? Light and Sublimation Dragon is a cool-ass name for this level 8 light dragon that has 2,600 attack and 2,100 defense. This can special summon itself from your hand by banishing a level 8 dragon from your extra deck, but doing so will lock you into only summoning dragon-type monsters for the rest of the turn. On the field, this can fusion summon a monster from your extra deck by using materials from hand or field, and when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can have this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense, and if it does, the opponent's monster will lose 1,500 attack. Once again, this is another version of a monster that we already have. Light and Dragon is a Synchro monster from 2009 that I guess was based on the same thing as this, seeing as how they're very nearly identical in effects, minus the, fusion and summoning condition. This one is, again, sort of like the fusion is to Lad, mildly worse, however, because the original was, well, it was useless as well, but at least it lowered the attack and defense of whatever it attacked, so there was variance in being able to get over cards that might be in defense, and regardless of who attacked, that effect could activate, whereas the new one will need to be the one being attacked. So you need the opponent to walk into it. Why? Why? It's 2024, dude. The fuck are you doing here? Why are you wasting our time? The first one sucked, but at least had a use in the fact that you could choose to attack and get rid of something if you really wanted to play it just for the art. But whatever, it's fusion materials, that's all it is. I get it, I just don't fucking care, and I'm confused and I don't get it, but whatever, I get it. I really cannot introduce it like that. The script reads that if I were Dr. House, maybe I could get away with it, but I'm not. And you can tell because I'm still diseased, and also this isn't being made in 2005, so I'm not gonna fucking do that. Dark and Evaporation Dragon is a way lamer name compared to Sublimation, But that's not really a shock at this point because as of yet, underwhelming has been this entire video. So that's probably appropriate in all honesty. This level 8 Dark Dragon also has 2600 attack, 2100 defense, and can summon itself from your hand by banishing a level 8 dragon from your extra deck, and then locks you into dragons. What a shock. When this one's on the field, it can only do one of its 2 effects, however. Either fusion summon a monster by using materials from your hand or grave, or you can target an attack position monster, have this card lose 500 attack and defense exactly, and if it does, it will destroy that monster. And for the 3rd time in the row, we have a shittier version of a card we already have. Because it's virtually the same thing. It loses 500 attack and targets, but at least the Synchro doesn't destroy. It sends to the graveyard. That's pretty minor. In most instances, it won't matter, but it will sometimes. And also, why can't we do this and fuse? Is it really so absurd to let targeted destruction happen in the same turn as a fusion summon? Is that beyond the realm of comprehension in the world that is the world we play Yu-Gi-Oh! in 2024? Because I meant to say the year, but I went with the world, but hopefully that sentence worked out. It fucking didn't. Moving on. Once again, underwhelming as shit. The evaporation stands for it evaporating out of existence as it rots in bulk boxes, because that's all there is to fucking say about it. But don't worry, there's still more to this deck. Knight Armed Dragon is a level 3 Wind Dragon with 1300 attack and 1900 defense, and if you special summon a level 5 or higher dragon, you can drop this from your hand. If it's special summoned, you can then make its attribute and level the same as one of your banished dragons levels in attribute, which is cool, and also just here to be material to fuse if you don't open both of the dragons, I guess. It's also got another effect though, because if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target one dragon monster you control and have it gain 1000 attack, and neither player can respond to this effect activation. So it's an extra body and some solid use of consistency, I suppose, to get out your new card, and then it's got that oh so important speed spell 4 effect to boost your new fusion boss monster, because if this could be responded to, your boss monster would fucking negate it. Fighting darkness, baby. It's an extra negate, you might think, though, and that'd be true if you weren't an idiot. Because the new both lads, both light and darknesses need to lose attack and defense to get their negates. So because this doesn't boost the defense, it only gives it an additional 1000 attack. It won't give it an extra negate. But hey, at least you'll be getting your 1400 dragon being beat over in battle instead of your 400 attack dragon. So that's a good thing, right? I sure hope so, because that's all this deck's fucking getting. You can probably find a way to tech this card in specifically into Dragon Link if you want to try train blocking some shit. Like, yeah, I guess it pairs really well with exactly Router if you want to, but I don't really think it's all that worth it. So, yeah, at least the sword's cool. That's cool. I like it. That's a neat sword. I'd own that fucking sword. And the last card we got for this deck, if we can call it a deck, is Dragon's Glory of Light and Dark, a new quick play spell. This card has 3 effects, and one of them you can use per turn because you only get one. It's got 3 effects, but you pick one. The first will let you shuffle a level 8 dragon from your hand into your deck, and if you do, you can then add one level 8 dragon from your deck with a different attribute. So that's a cool neg 1 if you just love losing advantage and resource. Alternatively, you can target a dragon you control and have it gain attack equal to its level times 200, or you can negate the effect of a card or effect that targets a dragon monster you control. Once again, an effect that would give your fusion boss monster more attack, but not defense, which means it doesn't give it more negates. And also, if it can still negate things and you use this, it will negate it. So it's sick, dude. But it is also targeting protection, provided, again, you aren't about to be negated by your own card. So really, targeting protection is useful to have on your ROTA, because that's what this is. I'm guessing it probably has more use in something like Galaxy to get that new Schwarzschild dragon into their hand, because that's the closest thing they have to a starter. But hey, at least there's options on your new ROTA. A ROTA that can also stop Valor or Imperm is certainly better than just a ROTA, so it's not something to complain about. It's just a neg 1 ROTA, which is something to complain about, but it's not like this is out of line being a little wonky in regards to usefulness, is it? All in all, it is a collection of cards. there's not really a deck here. You can go neg1 and search them and then tech them into whatever else you want to play, but it's clearly meant to be featured with something rather than played independently, which is fine. I just really wonder what deck has both the want and need and space for a shitty version of a card that was already shitty in 2009, as well as the extra deck space to tech in that shitty 2009 card to make it. Or, alternatively, you're giving up an actually good extra deck monster to summon out one of the 2 new dragons. Because you need a level 8 dragon from the extra deck to banish, and if you're also playing that little armed knight, you'll need a dark and a light one specifically, which means 2 of your slots are potentially just being wasted for you to get the attributes to make a fusion summon. I'm not too hyped on that, which is a shame because I really like dragons in this game. And all of this for a functionally worse version of a boss monster from 2007. And speaking of our new shitty version of Lad, I'm not too crazy about it, broadly speaking. Seeing Barone and Savage go was cool in the sense that I can appreciate moving the game into a less negate-styled focus on gameplay. And I do get that that is the TCG ban list I'm speaking about, and that this has been designed by and in all likelihood for the OCG first and foremost, or at least I would assume so. So I get that they're not the same thing, but that doesn't mean that I personally have to care for it. Why make it negate themed and then give it the means to recover attack but not defense to make it so it can't get more negates? Why half-ass it like that? Or if you do, and fucking make it negate focused, then why not make it not a shitty equivalent to the old card? Why not make it better than the version from 2007, as you would hope for when getting it in 2024? Why not have it also need to lose 500 attacks so you just get 6 negates? Or why not let me choose if I want to negate instead of making it mandatory? This one's a bitch to get out anyways. I think it could be argued to be fine in that capacity. And because branded players will come flying in here to say that they can play it, yeah, congratulations. I do suppose that the fusion-focused deck could make a fusion monster. I'm sure your dad is very proud that you realized that, and everyone here does want to hear it. Doesn't make it fucking worth summoning in your deck in the first place. Are we really gonna say that Brandon doesn't have better things to do than make this piece of shit? Fucking puppet locket pieces of shit. I'm mad. Yeah, I'm salty. Fucking fight me about it, okay? I'm gonna have a fucking tonsillectomy or something. I'm gonna get my throat removed because I clearly have disease, okay? I'm just fucking... You can make this piece of shit, and then it can negate branded fusion, and then you won't have lost to Ash Blossom. So fucking congrats on that, you fucking branded players. On point, the cards are meh. The fusion looks cool as shit. I'm sure manga fans are happy, since I don't imagine there's a tremendous amount of overlap between GX manga enthusiasts and competitive players. I don't think that Venn diagram is... I think that's 2 completely separate circles, if I'm being honest. So I think everyone's happy in that regard. Competitive players have cards they don't have to worry about, and fans of these cards can now play them in real life and enjoy them to the best of their ability. So, thumbs up. I'm done. And so that wraps it up for this video. Just featuring some new cards in this one. The regular update will be out on Friday, as always. Thanks as always goes to the LIFD Magnetic Display, the true Duelist approved way to show off your favorite cards, and the best way to support my channel in the current day and age. There you go, words are hard sometimes. As always, promo code YGOStats15, whether you type it in the checkout, click the link in the description, however you go about it. If you want to save yourself some money on getting a nice display for your cards, that's how you do it. And other than that, there's nothing else. There's literally nothing else. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you so kindly. You'll impress your smoking Italian wife. You'll become a true duelist. You may or may not encounter a bag of chips in your future. If you do so, the possibilities are endless. And that's it. I'm done now. Goodbye. I cannot wait for this fucking cold to go away.